guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to get this look. This has been my go-to look as of recently, and I feel like you can wear it during the day or even to go out at night. And you can also wear multiple different lip colors with this because it is super wearable, neutral, not too much, not over the top. But I did do something a little bit different today and just added a touch of color, a purple, which you'll see in the video, but it's still super wearable because it's not super noticeable. But yeah, this has been my go-to look lately, and I also tried out the new KKW Beauty Concealer, Brightening Powder, and Baking Powder. So you'll get to see my first impressions on that and my thoughts. And also I just wanted to mention that YouTube has been changing things up. So please hit that little bell to get notified when I do post a new video, because now I don't think it'll show up even in your subscription box. Like normally as long as you're subscribed it shows up in the little subscription box, but now you have to hit the bell in order to see that my video is up. I don't know. YouTube is always changing things that aren't for the better. But if you want to see how I got this look, then just keep on watching. So we're going to keep the eyes pretty simple today. This has kind of been my go-to eye look recently. I'm just going to use a different color than I normally would. But I'm going to be using the Dominique Cosmetics Latte palette today. I've just been loving this palette. It has all the colors I need for an everyday look. It just blends super easily, and I really like the formula. So I'm going to start off with Caramel, which is just a light, warm brown. I'm taking that on a Morphe G17. And I'm just taking that same Caramel shade on a flat shader brush and putting it all over my lid. Now I'm taking a Mikasa E310 brush, and I'm going to take the shade Pumpkin Spice, which is just a nice burnt orange shade, and I'm going to start working this on the outer part of my eye, kind of like where your liner would go. Now to add a pop of color, I'm going to take the shade Double Shot, which is a nice purple shade, just because it is spring and I'm trying to incorporate more colors in my tutorials. So even though this is a more neutral kind of everyday look, I can still add that pop of color in there. So I'm just doing that same thing. I'm just bringing it a little bit lower than Pumpkin Spice. Now taking a really small flat definer brush, I'm going to go in with the dark brown shade in here, which is Mocha, and I'm just going to push this right up against my lash line so that the purple and the orange are still showing through and that this isn't kind of, you know, covering them. But I just want a little bit more definition, so I'm just going to take that dark brown and place it down. Actually going to take a brown liquid liner. You can use any brown or gel liner. This is the Urban Decay Razor Sharp in Demolition. I'm just going to put this as close to my lash line as possible. I know I just said that with the brown shadow, but I'm going to put this down and then place that brown shadow back on top of it, just because I want the lash line to be a slight bit darker. So once that brown liner is down, I'm just taking the brown shadow again and placing it over that, just because I don't want it to be a sharp line of liner. I want everything to blend on that outer corner, or on the outer part of my lash line, I should say. I just went in with the Benefit Bad Gal Bang Mascara, and now I'm going to add lashes. Lately when I've been doing this look, I've just been adding like 2 to 3 to 4 individual lashes at the end, but I'm kind of running low on those, so I don't want to use them. I actually want to try, I'm going to take the Ardell Studio Effects lashes in 231, but I'm actually going to cut them in either halves or into 3 pieces and kind of just focus them on the outer part of my eye, because that's what I like to do with this eye look. Since we did focus the shadow on the outer part of the eye, I like to focus the lashes also on the outer part of the eye, just so they looked nice and kind of winged, I guess you would call it, without doing wing liner. So I'm just gonna go pop those on really quick. So the Studio Effect lashes were actually super long, so I didn't want to use those, so I ended up switching to the Ardell Mega Volume 4-pack. These just have more volume, but these are also pretty long, but I don't mind it. And what I did is I cut them up into fours, and I kind of just placed where I wanted the lash. I just feel like it fits better on my eyes when I use the lash that way instead of just putting the whole strip on. Obviously, it's a little bit more time consuming, but that's just something that I like to do. And also, like I said, I normally use individual or like the triple trio lashes when I do this look, and I just add a few. But I kind of just wanted to try using these today, and it's a little bit more voluminous than I normally would do with this look, but I don't mind it, and it kind of just looks like messier, so it looks, I don't want to say natural because these are so long, but they look natural in the sense that they're not completely identical like you would have with a regular strip lash. So it's just something to try out. To prime my face today, I'm going to go in with the Makeup Forever Step 1 Equalizer in the shade, did I say the Equalizer? Equalizer in the hydrating one. Just going to press it into the skin. I'm going to take some of the Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer and just fill in my pores. I have eyeliner all over my hands. And just like to press it into my pores. For foundation today, I'm going to be going in with an oldie but still a goodie. This is the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear foundation. I used to use this all the time when I worked for Lancome, and at first I was scared of it because I do have dry skin, so normally matte foundations I am not completely drawn to, and if I do, I usually mix them with another foundation. But this one, I can honestly say, just makes your skin look so good, and even if you have dry skin, it doesn't feel drying, it doesn't make you appear super dry, and it really just stays on for so long. So I highly recommend trying this out if you are looking for a new foundation and you want to kind of splurge a little bit. So I picked up the new KKW concealers, baking powder, and brightening powder. I've never tried anything from KKW Beauty yet. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of intrigued by the contour sticks because they do look nice and creamy, but I don't like the highlighting sticks. I'm just, in any brand, I'm just not a fan of them. So I never tried those out. I think now they're sold individually, so maybe eventually I'll try the contour sticks out. And I didn't get the loose pigment or the lip glosses. I don't know why, I just didn't make my way around to it. But I knew I needed to try out the complexion products because I love trying out complexion products like foundations, concealers, anything like that, just because it really is the most important part of your makeup in my opinion, and it's just fun to try out. I love seeing how different products work on different skin types, and what works for me might not work for somebody else, and what works for them might not work for me, and I just kind of like to test it out and see why, and try them out in different ways to see if I can make them work when they don't. But I'm just kind of rambling right now. Um, please hold. I just quickly went in with my LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Toast to do some cream contouring, just because I feel like these concealers are going to be pretty light. So I want everything to balance each other out. So I'm going to insert swatches and stuff of the concealer. The first shade I got is shade number 8. I think I really meant to get shade 9 because what I normally do is I go in with a darker concealer first, or not dark, but a little bit closer to my skin tone, and then go in with a lighter shade to brighten it up, which I do have two different ones. But I wanted to get shade number 9 because that had more of a peachy undertone, so that would help cancel out any darkness. But I must have just forgot what I was doing, and I got shade number 8, which is a more warm yellowy tone shade, which I personally don't mind, as just usually I like to go in with something peachy first. I even usually go in with my Hard Candy Instant Eye Fix because that's peachy and it also helps depuff the under eye, but I wanted to try these concealers out and see how they perform on their own. So I'm first going to take shade number 8. I like this applicator. You get a lot on the brush. There isn't really much product in here, especially compared to other concealers, but you do kind of get a lot off the going in on with the one application. Now I'm going to take shade number 5, which is lighter, which I don't think I need, but we're going to do it anyway. This is also more yellow tone. I'm just going to put it right in here. I'm going to start blending the concealer out. Coverage looks pretty good so far. I'm just going to wait to blend directly under my eyes so they don't crease as much. I like to go in with a small brush to blend my nose out. This actually looks pretty good. Very good. I would say it's medium to full. I kind of just want to go in with a little bit more to see if I can layer it. Just like right here. This is where I would have put the more peachy tone because it does appear darker. So I did pick up the baking powder. I got the shade number 2, and let me explain why. There's 4 different shades. They're kind of grouped in categories if you haven't seen yet, from light, medium, dark, deep dark. And normally I do like more of a yellow powder, which would have been in the deep dark section. And they said to kind of whatever section your concealer was to go with that powder. And my concealers were from the medium section, which would mean number 2. But I was tempted to just get number 3 anyway, just because I don't like a super bright under eye. So I was kind of afraid that this was going to be too light. And the reason why I ended up choosing it anyway is because I watched all the tutorials that were on her YouTube channel to check out the shades and just see how Mario used them on her. And they had 4 different videos, but instead of doing one with each category, they had 2 videos using bake number 2 instead of having one using bake number 3. So I didn't get to see what the yellow powder really looked like. Even on the website when I went to order it, they had 4 different pictures with the videos, and they didn't use shade number 3 on anyone. So I'm like, is there a reason why they're not using shade number 3? And nobody had posted, like the people that got it in PR, nobody had posted a video using number 3 yet at that point before I ordered it. So I was like, I guess I'll just go with number 2. Mario used number 2 on Kim. So I'm just going to see what happens. And this is a more peachy undertone. So since I used the yellow concealer, maybe it'll balance each other out because this is more peachy pink, so that cancels out darkness. So hopefully this will still be good. Now Mario did use a dry sponge. Normally I and many other people like to go in with our beauty blender that was kind of damp, but he used a dry sponge, so that's what I'm going to do. Normally I do this with my around my nose, just because I like that area really defined. I like to really carve out my nose. So that's normal for me. So I'm just taking a triangle sponge sitting here, I just want to say that I really like the packaging on everything. I know some people were complaining that she stole this packaging from the Stila liquid eyeshadows, but there's so many other brands that use the same exact packaging. Smashbox uses it for their always on liquid lipstick, which I love. And how many different things could there really be to hold a concealer? There's so many brands that have similar packaging when it comes to concealers, foundations, anything pretty much. So people just like to pick out the little things that really don't matter. So I like it, and I really like the applicator on it. It's really flexible. It kind of reminds me of the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Concealer Wand, which I really like. The only thing I don't like about them is that you don't get a lot of product, so I feel like I would go through this really quick. And that's the same for these two, like the baking powders, pretty small, and the brightening powder, which I'll get to. But I'm thinking that the reason she made them so small is because they're only really supposed to be used for highlighting, brightening, especially just the under eye and center area of the face. So maybe she made them smaller because you're not supposed to go through as much product as quickly. I don't know, but that's just my take on it. But I really wish she did give you more product for what you're paying for. So now we're going to go in with the brightening powder. I probably look a little bit crazy right now, but once I spray my face later on, everything should melt together. So this is also in the shade number 2. Super cute. So I'm just going to take a small blending brush because this is what they used on her. I didn't buy her brushes because I just didn't want them right now. It just wasn't a necessity, so I'm just taking a fluffy blending brush and I'm kind of just gonna dust it around. It kind of has like a luminosity to it. I don't know what to think. I don't hate it. I just really want to spray my face with Fix Plus right now. But it really does brighten the under eye. Okay. And I kind of like that it has a sheen to it because, like I said, I have dry skin. So I'm not mad at this. I just can't give like a full review because this is the first time I'm using it, and I feel like I need to play with this more. But right now, I'm liking this, and I'm liking the concealer. Might as well finish off the face before we finish the eyes while we're here. I'm going to take the Kat Von D Shade Light palette and just mix these two shades on a small blending brush to contour my cheekbones. I'm going to go in with my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. For blush today, I'm going to take the Milani Coral Beams. This is their Color Harmony blush because, you know, I've just been using that Flower Beauty blush so much and I need to stop. I need to use other things. But I'm just going to go in with this. I really like this blush also though. For highlight, I'm going to take the Ofra and Nikkietutorials Everglow highlighter, and I'm just going to take this gold shade on my ColourPop small fluff brush. Just go right here. Now I'm going to spray my face with some Fix Plus because I need this powdery look to go away. While my face is still just a little bit damp, I'm going to take the Inglot Sparkiling Dust. I believe this is in the shade 02. Doesn't say, but I believe it, yeah, 02. It's just like a yellow gold. It's really pretty, and it's just a loose highlighter. So while my face is still slightly damp, not fully wet, I'm just going to add a little bit of this. We're going to finish this eye look off, and I'm going to take the Dominique palette again, or the Latte palette. And I'm just gonna go right into Pumpkin Spice on a Mikasa E310 and just blend that along my lower lash line. Now I'm gonna go in with Double Shot, that purple shade, and just go a little bit closer to my lash line. I'm going to take this eyeliner from ColourPop in the shade Get Paid. It's like a golden bronze shade, and I'm going to put this on my waterline. And I'm just going to take the Bad Gal Bang mascara again and put that on my lower lashes. For lips, I just lined my lips with the MAC Oak lip liner, and now I'm going to go in with the Dose of Color lipstick in the shade Toast. So this is the completed look. I hope you enjoyed. Overall, I really like the way everything is looking right now. I can't give a complete review on the KKW products because obviously it's just my first time wearing them, so I don't know the longevity and how they're going to look in a few hours. But as of right now, my first impressions is I really do like the concealer. To me, it was really creamy, easy to blend. I don't think it was super drying or anything. I have natural creases under my eyes, so I'm going to get creasing no matter what. But they actually aren't as bad as normal right now. Don't know how they're going to look in a few hours, but it looks okay. And I feel like with this concealer, you can either do more of a lighter coverage or you can build it up. So I would say it's light to full coverage or medium to full. You can kind of add as much or take away as much as you want. The baking powder I did like I said, it's super finely milled. I didn't think it was super drying or anything. And I also really like the brightening powder, which is something I don't always do. Sometimes if I remember, I'll brighten up with either my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette or the yellow shade out of the Latte palette. But like I said, I kind of wish I did pick up the shade number 3, the more yellow toned one, because I think I would have liked that more. I usually don't like pinky tones on me unless like I said, the concealer is more of a peachy tone. I like going in with that first. So, I mean, I think I would have liked this even more if I had the correct shades that I prefer. But I don't think it looks bad at all. It's not like it looks super pink or anything. I just think I would like the yellow more, especially in the summer when I do have more of a tan. But I'm still going to use this and I'm going to continue to use it so I can keep you guys updated and let you know my final thoughts on all the products. But I'm surprisingly impressed with everything. So that's good. And like I said, this kind of has been my go-to eye look lately. I've just added the purple, but you can't even see too much of the purple, so it's still super wearable. And I think it just makes brown eyes or pretty much any eye color purple makes pop. So you can just add that little touch to make everything stand out just a tiny bit more, but it's still super wearable and not as noticeable. I just like having more of that cat eye kind of winged out shape to my eyes, so that's why I really like this look, and it's super easy to do. And since I'm filming it, it takes a little bit longer, but when I'm not filming it, I can get this look done pretty quickly. But yeah, those are my final thoughts as of right now. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you enjoy, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!